What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kramer, and in this video, I'm going to go through the top 6 most commonly asked questions that I get asked about real estate. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, question number 1. Is short-term rentals better or are mid-term rentals better? And my answer to this question is it just depends. Short-term rentals have the potential of making more money, but they take a lot more management, whereas mid-term rentals can still make a considerable amount of money, but the management is way less. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. Number 2, Bailey, should I use Airbnb's smart pricing feature? My answer 98% of the time is absolutely not. Airbnb's smart pricing feature is geared to keep your prices low, which makes it attractive for the guests, which in turn will get your property booked. But again, it'll get it booked at a low rate, which usually attracts lower quality guests. So if your listing is struggling in its first couple bookings, that is one of the strategies you could do to get the ball rolling. But ultimately, I recommend using a dynamic pricing software. Like for me, I use PriceLabs, and that's what I recommend, whether you're doing short-term rentals or a hybrid with mid-term rentals as well. Question number 3, how do you manage properties completely remotely in different states? The simple answer is I have a really good team on the ground. My team consists of cleaners and handymen. Those are the main 2 people that I need to manage my properties completely remotely. And if I didn't have those people, then it would be nearly impossible to actually run my properties remotely. Now, this leads me to my next question that I typically get asked is, Bailey, how do you find these people? And there's 3 ways that I typically find my reliable team on the ground. Number 1, through referrals. So I always ask my real estate agent, hey, who do you recommend for a handyman? Who do you recommend for a cleaner, landscaper, plumber? All those people, usually my realtor will just give them to me. If they don't have a specific person, then I'll go to a website called Thumbtack, which I really, really like. I recommend you check them out. And then number 3 is I'll go into Facebook groups. So I'll go into a local Facebook group and type in the word cleaners or handyman. And usually people have already thrown out their favorite ones, told you who they like, who you should stay away from. So those are really the top 3 ways I find my people. Next question, Bailey, is it worth it to use a smart lock? So what this question is referring to is one of those fancy smart locks that connects to your Wi-Fi that uses batteries. And instead of the guests using a physical key, they can just type the numbers on the pin pad. And even though they cost between $200 to $300, I highly recommend them. Especially if you're managing your properties remotely, it's so nice to be able to unlock and lock the door from your phone and also see when the door has been opened, closed, locked, unlocked, and lets you manage your team and vendors on the ground and know when they're actually at your property and when they're not. So I really like smart locks. And then on the same breath, we always have a backup lockbox next to the door. So just in case the smart lock doesn't work, we'll have a physical key that the guests or vendors can use to get in. All right. And the next and final question is, Bailey, how much money should I have before buying a property? And it really just depends, of course, what type of property you're buying, what strategy you're using. You could buy a property for little to no money down, but realistically speaking, I always tell people you need to have at least $30,000 to put down on a property. And of course, you want to have more money than that, so you have more money in your bank account to live and pay your own personal expenses. $30,000 set aside to invest into a property is the very minimum base amount that I believe you should have started. So I hope you guys got value out of these questions. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, put them in the comments below. I'll be doing these every couple of weeks or so, just answering your most commonly asked questions. So don't hesitate, drop your comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.